Welcome to MacroVision. Today, we're watching XRP closely as it tests one of the most important price zones on the chart right now. After several weeks of sideways movement, XRP has slipped lower and is now trading near a key support area between $1.05 and $1.10. For traders, this is not just another small move. This is the kind of level where the market often reveals whether buyers still have confidence or whether sellers are starting to take control. According to recent market analysis, XRP moved down around 2% before reaching this zone, and that decline has put more attention on what happens next. The big question now is simple. Will buyers step in and defend this support, or will XRP break lower and open the door to more selling pressure? This matters because support levels are often where market psychology becomes visible. When an asset keeps trading in a range for several weeks, traders begin to watch the top and bottom of that range very carefully. In XRP's case, the $1.05 to $1.10 area is now acting as a critical line in the sand. If buyers believe XRP is still strong enough to recover, this is the area where they may start buying again. But if buyers stay quiet and volume remains weak, sellers may see that as an opportunity to push the price lower. That is why this moment is getting attention. It is not only about a 2% drop, it is about whether the market still sees this support zone as a place worth defending. Over the past 3 weeks, XRP has been moving in a fairly tight range, and that kind of price action can create tension in the market. When price does not move strongly in either direction, traders wait for confirmation. Some wait for a breakout higher. Others wait for a breakdown below support. Right now, XRP is sitting near the lower end of that range, which means the next move could become more important than the recent move itself. A bounce from this level could suggest that buyers are still active and willing to protect the current structure. But a clean break below this area could change the mood quickly, especially if selling volume starts to rise at the same time. One of the main things traders are watching right now is volume. Price movement alone does not always tell the full story. A drop on low volume can sometimes mean that sellers are not very aggressive, and buyers may still have a chance to regain control. But a drop through support with stronger volume can send a very different message. It can suggest that more traders are exiting positions, stop-loss orders are being triggered, and momentum is starting to shift against the asset. In XRP's case, the current low-volume environment shows that many traders are still waiting. They have not fully committed yet, and that hesitation can sometimes lead to sharp moves once the market finally chooses a direction. This is why the $1.05 to $1.10 range is so important. If XRP can hold above this area, the market may view it as a sign of resilience. Buyers may see it as a discount zone. Short-term traders may look for a bounce, and momentum could begin to rebuild. But if this level fails, the story changes. A breakdown could create fear that the range has finally lost support, and that could bring in more selling pressure. In markets like crypto, where sentiment can change very quickly, these technical zones can become powerful triggers. A level that looks calm one day can become the center of attention the next day. The broader crypto market is also playing a role here. XRP is not moving in isolation. When Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major assets send mixed signals, traders often become more cautious across the entire market. That cautious mood can reduce buying activity, especially in altcoins. XRP has its own story, its own community, and its own market structure, but it still reacts to wider crypto conditions. If the overall market becomes more risk-off, XRP may find it harder to attract strong buyers at support. But if the broader market stabilizes, that could give XRP a better chance to defend this zone and possibly recover from the recent pullback. Another important factor is uncertainty. XRP has often been influenced by regulatory discussions, market headlines, and changing investor sentiment. Even when price action looks purely technical, background uncertainty can affect how traders behave. Some buyers may hesitate because they want more clarity before entering. Some sellers may act quickly because they do not want to hold through possible volatility. This creates a market where price can move sharply once confidence shifts. Right now, XRP is sitting in a position where both sides are waiting for evidence. Buyers want proof that support is strong. Sellers want proof that support is weak. The next few sessions may provide that answer. For short-term traders, the immediate focus is simple. Does XRP hold the support zone or not? A strong defense of the $1.05 to $1.10 area could create a short-term bounce and bring attention back to the upper side of the recent range. Traders may then begin watching for signs that XRP can move back toward resistance levels. But if XRP fails to hold this zone, traders may start looking lower for the next area where buyers could appear. The key is not to guess blindly. The key is to watch how price reacts around the level, how volume behaves, and whether buyers show real strength instead of just a temporary pause. For longer-term viewers, this move is still worth watching because market structure often begins with smaller technical signals. A single support test does not decide the future of an asset, but repeated tests of the same level can tell us something about buyer confidence. If XRP keeps returning to support and buyers become weaker each time, that can be a warning sign. But if support holds repeatedly and sellers fail to break it, that can sometimes create the foundation for a stronger recovery. This is why many analysts pay close attention to these zones. They are not just lines on a chart. They are areas where real buying and selling decisions are being made. The low trading volume also adds another layer to the story. Low volume can mean that traders are uncertain, but it can also mean that a larger move may be building. When markets become quiet near an important level, pressure can build underneath the surface. If a wave of buyers suddenly enters, the price can rebound quickly because there may not be enough sellers to absorb the demand. On the other hand, if support breaks and sellers become more active, the lack of strong buying volume can make the decline feel sharper. This is why low volume should not be ignored. It may look calm, but it often shows that the market is waiting for a trigger. At the same time, it is important not to overreact to every small move. Crypto markets are volatile, and XRP is no exception. A 2% decline may sound meaningful, especially when it happens near support, but traders need to look at the bigger context. The real issue is not only the size of the move. The real issue is where the move happened. A 2% drop in the middle of a range may not mean much, but a 2% drop into a critical support zone can attract more attention because it brings price closer to a potential decision point. That is exactly what appears to be happening with XRP right now. If buyers step in, the market may begin to shift from caution back toward confidence. A strong bounce from support could show that demand is still present and that traders are willing to defend XRP at current levels. That would not automatically mean a major rally is guaranteed, but it could reduce immediate downside pressure and give the market a chance to stabilize. In that case, traders would likely watch whether the bounce comes with stronger volume. A weak bounce on low volume may not be enough to change sentiment, but a stronger rebound with clear buying activity could make the support zone look more reliable. If buyers do not step in, the risk becomes more serious. A breakdown below the $1.05 area could cause traders to question whether XRP's recent range has failed. In that situation, some short-term holders may exit and sellers may become more confident. That does not mean XRP would collapse automatically, but it would likely increase volatility and force traders to search for the next important level below. Market reactions can become fast when a widely watched support zone breaks. That is why many traders are not only watching the price level itself, but also watching how quickly the market responds if that level is lost. The most balanced way to look at XRP right now is to say that the market is at a decision point. Buyers still have a chance to defend the current structure, but they need to show up soon. Sellers have pushed the price down towards support, but they still need confirmation that the level can actually break. Until one side proves control, caution remains the main theme. This is not the kind of setup where traders should ignore risk. It is also not the kind of setup where one candle tells the full story. The next move needs confirmation from price action, volume, and broader market sentiment. For viewers following XRP, the key levels remain clear. The support zone between $1.05 and $1.10 is the area to watch first. Holding above that range could help restore confidence and keep the current structure alive. Breaking below it could increase selling pressure and change the near-term outlook. Beyond that, traders should also keep an eye on broader crypto market conditions, because XRP's next move may depend partly on whether the overall market becomes more stable or more defensive. When the market is mixed, even strong assets can struggle to gain momentum without a clear catalyst. So the main question remains, will buyers step in? Right now, XRP is giving the market a clear test. The asset has moved lower, support is in focus, volume is quiet, and traders are waiting for the next signal. If buyers defend this area with strength, XRP may have a chance to stabilize and regain momentum. If support fails, the conversation could quickly shift toward deeper downside risk. As always, this is not financial advice, and every viewer should do their own research before making any investment decision. But from a market analysis perspective, this is one of those moments where the next reaction matters. For MacroVision, we will continue watching the price, the volume, and the sentiment around XRP as this key support test plays out.